Good
Hello,
morning.
hello, hello, beautiful friends, and welcome to the Love Your Life show with me, Beverley, Buckley. I am Pamela La Luz, who is joining us from Hawaii. We're going to be chatting and playing, igniting your crystalline body with the power of sound. And Pamela is truly the alchemist of sound, and she's already playing the bowls there in the background for us. So I'm going to bring in Pamela into the room. Pamela, bring you up there.
Oh, wow. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be with you, Beverly, because behind the scenes, what you don't know is there were so many technical difficulties. And I kept thinking, oh my goodness, can we really do this? And I am discovering again, just being willing to show up. That's what like 90% of life is just being willing to show up anyway. So, and I'm just going to even start.
Exactly.
We had about 40 bowls for this weekend event with Rika Zimmerman. I'm one of her Life Transform coaches, and we had an amazing time here in Kona for 7 days. And I had all kinds of alchemy that we are using. But what I brought this morning is a morganite in an F note, which is divine love. And I just thought we'd start out with just that little bit of frequency of sound to get us started this morning, just to bring us into that space and to vibrate with divine love. It's pretty easy in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful environment like Hawaii. I love Hawaii. It was funny this morning as I was getting ready, there's this great big bumblebee, and because I'm wearing all this yellow, I think it thinks that I am a flower, because I feel like a flower here. I feel like a flower. And so I hope that you'll all join me and feel that beauty that you have within too, that the sweetness of life, the sweetness of life.
Yay! I'm so excited. And Pamela, I just want to let you know we've got some friends in the room. We have Melissa who's joining us. We have Suzanne, we have Debbie, we have Tony, and we have Sarah Lynn, who are all coming to play.
Oh, yay, yay. Sarah
got Suzanne saying, hello, beautiful angels. Sarah Lynn, hello, aloha, Pam and Bev. Tony saying, hello, beautiful, the bowl of my heart. And Melissa saying, aloha, Pam and Bev, love to you.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Love to you too, you guys. Such a beautiful soul family. You know, it's amazing what technology can do, that we can all come together for wherever we are in the world and take a moment really to breathe our hearts together. The internet has taught us almost how much distance doesn't matter. It's almost sometimes a concept in our mind. Our cell phones have brought us together. And I love the idea of the internet because it really is helping us connect across the globe. And the globe is starting to feel smaller in some ways in all of its expansiveness. So it's really almost like an oxymoron because yeah, the smaller the world gets, the more it expands, because I feel like I can touch and commune with people all over the world. And it is really, really beautiful. So thank you, Beverly, for creating a vehicle so that we can have this time to do just that together.
I love it. 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 And I love to get to play. And I love to play the game of, how do I go around this part now? And how do I go around you now? And how do I go around you now? And I think over the last 2 weeks, Pamela, you and I have had this wonderful game of, how do we go around this? And how do we go around this?
Yeah.
And we're like, it. You can't. We're doing it.
Yeah, we show up anyway. You know, it was funny. That kind of happened to me when we were doing our live event in Sedona, and Rika had rented this huge stage for us to do all of our TED Talk type presentations. And mine was entitled Obliterating the Obstacles That Keep You from Showing Up on the Stage of Your Own Life. And I went to visit just a dear, dear, sweet man, a friend of mine. And I'm so grateful. Gosh, I feel Andy here right now. So grateful that I actually took the time to go see him on my lunch hour because he did pass a couple weeks later. And he had had the glorious opportunity to shift into the next dimension. He actually died for like 20 minutes and came back. And he said that it was such a beautiful, beautiful experience, and the warmth and the peace that he experienced, he wasn't afraid of death. So his transition was actually really sweet. As I left, I tripped on his driveway and broke my foot. And because I was talking about obliterating the obstacles, I thought it was interesting that I would trip myself up and break my foot. And yet, as I was there in emergency and they were telling me, yeah, you broke your foot, I'm thinking, okay, good. I'm going to show up in my brokenness anyway and show up with my crutches. And use my crutch as the fact, just like you said, I'm going to go around this. How can it serve me instead of stop me? And so there was a lot that came up, but I think one of the things that keeps us from showing up, and even this, the videos that I sent somehow didn't come through that we needed for the page. So if you go there and there's a placeholder, so what? I'll get those videos on there and I can share with you what we're going to be doing in the next 6 weeks because it's going to be really fun. But the point is if we show up, one of the biggest things in the past and that I have wrestled with is I keep thinking that I can't show up until everything is perfect, until this is in place and this is in place. What if we just showed up in our beingness, even if it was the parts that aren't perfect? What if that's more inspirational than showing up with everything in place, like you're Martha Stewart? Martha, I think you're wonderful. But, oh my goodness, my life doesn't always look like Martha Stewart. So why don't I just have compassion for myself and be in the present moment? Oh, and in this present moment, oh my goodness, there are these beautiful little birds, these finches that have red, just red, like my flower, and they're right here. Gosh, if I could turn this around, I would show you. But anyway, they are precious, and that is what's showing up in my moment of now to share with you, these little sweet, sweet birds singing their song. And what if we could all show up and sing our song? And that's actually what we're going to be doing in the live stream. I do have a whole section on using your voice and sharing your truth and being authentic and not being afraid to share your authentic self. Because you think you have to be perfect before you can say what you're going to say.
Wonderful. Just you can. Here we go. Yay.
You know, one of the other things too, it kind of brought up in a place in my heart right now, and what I've experienced here as a life transform coach with Rika and her team. We have been talking about the fact of, what if we didn't have to wait for an experience like Andy to transition? What if heaven is here now? A really amazing woman, Anita Morjani, also died and had an incredible account of her near-death experience after she was ravaged with cancer. And she died, and on the other side, the thing that she recognized was that if we just show up in our magnificence is just being who we are. We don't have to try to make anything happen. And there is a place in beingness that we can show up in our authenticity. And then the motivation for what we do, the thing that creates hell on earth, is when we're doing something motivated out of fear, versus if we're doing something out of joy and love. If we lived our life from a place of, you know, even going around the different things that come up with a whole different perspective of saying, oh my goodness, what would be joyful now? What would be fun now? How could I take a look at this and create this almost like a game? Like you said, how can I go around this? And all of a sudden, it twists everything around, and you are completely experiencing heaven on earth. And Anita's book, after she worked with Wayne Dyer, is literally titled that, I believe, What If This Is Heaven? And what if it can be heaven? Just by a simple shift in our perspective to say, I'm going to be motivated by joy and love and what would be fun, and taking a completely different look at the exact same situation, but from completely new eyes. What if we didn't have to wait to experience heaven? That's what I think divine love is really all about.
Wonderful. Yes. I totally feel that, Pamela. And, you know, I think we've been playing with ideas of what you're bringing through over the next couple of weeks, because you've put a program, some amazing, some we're going to do later on, but feel such joy and such gratitude for putting this together, and for also, you know, obviously we all have the and your talent, you know so much about, with the welcoming that you bring. Just so excited for what we're going to play with next 6 weeks, and how it's going to all unfold, and how magical it's all going to be, because there's so much. And I know that you're going to be giving us a little bit of a taste of each of the weeks that we're going to be going through. Let us know, you will let, you know, what it is that you're putting in time.
Yeah. Well, I am excited about it. It's going to be fun for me. You know, as a life transform coach, I was thinking even that. I was like, I can't be a coach. I mean, I don't have all my everything together. But then again, the thing is that having those conversations are some of the most juicy, fun conversations that I could possibly have. If I was going to have a cup of tea with you, those are the kind of things I'd want to be talking about and discovering. And it's kind of, I mean, I love the fact that Suzanne and Sarah Lynn and Debbie, and we've got Melissa and these different people, it's kind of more of an interaction where we can share with one another what is real and authentic, and what you've been experiencing as well. So it's really more of a conversation where I get to expand and facilitate myself. Thanks for being in the room. So it isn't as scary as I thought. And the thing is that the first thing that I'm so excited about sharing with you in that first week, we really are going to go into some of my favorite tricks to become present. We've learned a lot of techniques, but oh my word, this present moment is where all the juice is. It's so true. That's where our inspiration is. That's where the magic is. That's where I literally can feel the essence of what it is to be alive, to have a body, to hear the birds, to feel the breeze, to actually look up and see the palm trees that literally are caressing your skin. I must admit, I've lived in Salt Lake for a long time with the snow and everything, and I'm really loving. But I love all of it, so I can't just say one over the other, but I feel kind of like I must be a little bit of a tropical girl inside. But the present moment, wow, that is one of the most important things that we can do to be in our being. So we are going to start with the present moment as our PowerPoint, and that will be the foundation on everything that we do. The rest of that time is coming into this present moment. And I'm so thrilled to use crystalline sound to help us do that, because this is what's going to make it different than maybe anything you've ever done. Do you know, Mother Nature remembers who we are, and she wants us to remember. She remembers our brilliance. She knows our divinity. And I think it's interesting. She's given us so much. So many people have had incredible experiences when they go to nature, because they're able to be in that frequency and in tune with what Mother Nature knows about us. And she has all kinds of gifts, you know, gold, diamonds, morganite, which is a frequency of divine love. One of the things for presence I'll be using are ruby, very grounding energies. And we're able to, because of crystal tones, I'm so grateful for them, they've been able to heat pure quartz crystal, the very finest quartz crystal. And when you play it, because our bodies are crystalline in nature, it brings all your cells to attention. It's like, oh, I am here now. So we get to call all of our structure present. And then once we're really present, that's when we're going to hear inspiration, or we have those aha moments. Because when we are in the past, and if I was worrying about what happened yesterday, or I'm really concerned about what's going to happen next, or, you know, catching flights or things like that, I totally lose this moment and I don't hear the inspiration, the calls. So that's why it's so important. And it's really fun that I get to use the very crystal structures that Mother Earth has for us, like smoky quartz that keep us grounded, and ruby and iron and gold, things like that that really help ground us into this moment. So I will be using just an amazing array of crystal bowls because I get to and I can, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I have to be the alchemist of sound. And you get to bathe in those frequencies. And so the joy about that is that it will help everything we talk about. It will help activate that in your being so that your soul remembers on a level beyond words. And that's really what we want to do, because even joy is a frequency. Even joy or something that you feel in your heart, it's a frequency. Sadness is a frequency. Joy is a frequency. I'm not saying even one is worse than the other. It's all part of the human experience. And so what if we didn't have to resist even sadness? What if we could love our sadness and not push it away? And maybe just loving our sadness would take us to the other side so much more effortlessly than if we resisted it. So those are the things that I've been learning and that I'm taking to the next level. The second thing that we're going to do, and it is my favorite thing, ever since I started working with crystal tones, for some reason I would be attracted to a bowl and I'd look at it and it'd be an F or an F sharp, which is a heart note. And I think it's interesting that right now on our planet, they have been discovering the power of the fact that everything has a vibratory signature. And so there's frequencies that we can vibe with. And if you vibe to a higher frequency, you get to hear information on a higher channel. So it's almost like tuning from AM to FM. And that's what I love about using sound to actually do that, to help us shift in ease and grace. Why not? And so moving into the heart, there's certain notes and frequencies that we can use, like morganite, which is divine love. Rose quartz, people have always known, as a heart expanding crystal. And Mother Earth, you add that crystal into a singing bowl and it has a voice to sing. So we're really adding those frequencies to us. Some of the other ones that we'll be able to use too are emerald. Emerald is an amazing heart opening crystal. I think it's interesting how a lot of people would use crystals in their crown. And as we're moving from the heart into the third week, we're moving into, I'm just so fascinated too with what they're discovering about the pineal gland, that little gland that's in the center of our brain, between both hemispheres of the brain. It's another gateway, like the heart, a gateway to remembering our divinity. And a lot of ancient cultures and other cultures that are very in tune would meditate, and that kundalini energy that they talk about would come up and explode in the pineal, and it would give people an experience of their God self, or a remembrance where they really could feel more connected with all that is. And I think it's fascinating that we have crystal bowls that will help open up the pineal, and there's certain notes that we can play together so that you have that. In fact, this little dolphin bowl that I took on our dolphin dive, I don't know if you can see this. Pink dolphins are like really rare dolphins. Ah! So I've got people like, they're actually doing the concrete or something over there. But anyway, so this pink dolphin that I took on the boat is actually the pineal. It is a pineal note, even though it's really low in the body. It's a frequency that opens up the pineal gland and that remembrance. And so guess what I'm going to do, just because I can? I'm going to ask them to wait so we can hear. Give me 2 seconds. Maybe you could do a commercial, Ben.
I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm doing the commercial. This is the commercial break, friend. Oh, Pamela's just asking the pavement people to kindly take a pause. One of the things that Pamela has put together, obviously, as I was mentioning, her together here, well, program. I'm going to actually put a little thing that says display. This is all new to me from this perspective. So get there. Just let me know if you can see it or what you see.
Now,
we love to play so wonderfully. So Pamela's back, and Pamela, I just want to let you know I've just sent them the link for the page, so they can actually follow along on the offer page if they'd like to. If you'd like to click on that link, I don't know if it's that. Someone in the chat, you could let me know if the offer link is shown up there, and go through as you were going through. I know that we've covered so far a few of the goodies, but I think we were speaking about the pineal gland.
We're talking about the pineal, but this is perfect as we go into this. The thing I wanted to just finish up about the pineal, when you think about kings and priestesses of the past or whatever, how they wore crowns and they had jewels in their crowns. There was a reason they had those jewels in their crowns. They actually opened up certain things. There were frequencies that helped them resonate with a higher frequency. So that's literally, there was more of a reason to have them. They were just absolutely exquisite beauty. And each one of us, wow, when we step in, there's a place called heart coherence, and they're understanding that the heart has an electromagnetic field that is 100 times more powerful than the brain. But we don't want to throw out the mind. A lot of people want to get rid of the ego and everything. What if we loved our ego and allowed our ego, we gave our ego an assignment from the heart and said, wow, you're so good at organizing this and thinking about this. Why don't you think about how we can, you know, make this happen in joy and ease? And give your mind an assignment to support the heart. How about that? And when your heart and your pineal, now these two are a little bit, these are the ones that I had left that I'm going to take as carry on, and they're not exactly a harmonic accord. But when those two are in coherence, there's something called heart coherence. And it really amps up your intuition like no other. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. It's going to be really cool. And this next thing that we're going to do about moving into the voice that I just talked to you about a moment ago, this was a perfect example. If you don't use your voice and ask for what you want, you're guaranteed 100% of the time you won't get it, what you want, if you don't ask. And so I just was bold enough to say, could you please do something else for the next 20 minutes? Would you mind doing that so that we could hear? And of course they said, of course we'll do that. So that was a perfect on-site example of moving into the throat chakra that we are going to be doing about using your authentic voice and asking for what you want, which will help us move into the next phase that we'll be talking about, which is the courage to live big. Because if we can't ask and we can't express ourselves, then we won't be able to have the courage to move into our dreams, because there is that part of expression and communication and contribution. Because I know, especially so many of you on this call, in fact, I don't know anybody that really at the very heart of their being isn't here and doesn't want to be able to contribute, especially from the heart, and speak your truth. And the things that I've noticed that we'll be able to do, I'll be using turquoise and different gems. Well, even this abalone. This abalone happens to be a G sharp, and a G sharp. This is a really beautiful bowl too, but G sharp will work the thymus, the throat, the third eye, and the crown all together. So there's notes and different alchemies that we can use so that when I play them together in a sound bath of sound, after we've kind of talked about the principles, then we really get to experience it and have it move right into our cellular being, so it just becomes a part of who we are again. And it isn't like, again, it's really more remembering who we really are. And frequency and sound can do that. Because you know how clocks will start in training to they'll all start going. There might be chaos, but they'll all start moving in tandem. That's what crystalline sound has the ability to do, to just help us move in ease and grace and flow. So it's just natural, because that's naturally who we are. Mm-hmm. Then the final thing, after we've gone into presence, after we've moved into the heart, after we've been able to access the mind and let them work together in this beautiful marriage together, and then we speak our truth, after we've done that, and then we step into the world in grandeur, the next thing that we get to do is open up to higher information and wisdom. And I have incredible alchemies, apotheli. You can read all about the ones I'll have. I'll probably have even more than that, because I usually can't stand not to bring certain bowls. After a while, because they're like live beings, I think of them that way, because they do have consciousness. There's certain bowls that will just say, play me, play me. And when I'm working with Rika, it's really unique, because the bowls will say, play me now, and just as I hit that note, Rika will sing that note. So it's interesting to be in tune with life in the very moment. And then the different things that we're talking about, a different bowl will say, it's my turn to sing, and I'll start playing her. And it might be the white gold bowl with platinum, and she starts talking about in that moment about how to drop our ideas about money and making money hard. What if money is just really as natural as breath or planting a seed, because you can watch a seed grow. And I thought it was interesting that that is the kind of flow and rhythm that happens when you're in attunement with crystalline structure and the moment of now. But it takes presence. It really takes presence, or you don't hear them talk in that soft way. But when we start opening up to moldavite and apothelite, and oh gosh, there's going to be so many. Diamond is always an amazing one to access all the facets of the beautiful beings that we are. And I think it's interesting thinking about diamond coming from coal and pressure, the pressure that actually creates the brilliance. And so that's what I'm excited to be able to talk with you about, things that you've had happen that maybe have created pressure, but I am guaranteeing you that they are the things that are also going to help you shine.
Wow. Pamela, wow. I mean, you have such an abundance of knowledge about these crystals and the magic that of sound and the alchemy that it can create in our bodies. It inspires me, and I'm looking at the bowls going, I want one of those, and I want one of those, and I want one of those, and I want one of those. And I'm looking at your lovely, the feather bong, or what is that got there? That's beautiful. It's got a feather.
When I went to Bali, I have a sweet sound sister, Sophia. She made this, and she is just such a beautiful, beautiful, graceful. She's a sound master as well, and she has an amazing voice. She has this gift that there's a thing called binaural beats, and when you play a binaural, it creates this slipstream. It almost goes a boop, 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 boop. But that binaural beat, they're discovering, scientists are discovering, helps release this hormone that is in the brain that only babies have from age 0 to 7. And that's why they're able to learn so quickly. And so I can create a binaural effect playing, like this is called an F-20. If I played an F, the exact same size of F+20, it's a frequency thing. It creates this little thing, and they create this wobble effect, which creates a binaural beat. And so I use that a lot during our classes, and I will be doing that through our sound baths too, because we consciously get to release what no longer serves us and to choose what would bring joy. And so that's what we're going to do, and we're going to just effortlessly bring it in. Because what if it was as simple as a choice? What if we didn't have to force anything into creation? What if we really remembered our being so much that that's how we really create? It's just that we've been creating by default for so long. And we've been creating by the rules that we were born into as far as this world of what they said is possible. But what if what we think is possible really is only the tip of the iceberg? And it is. And that's what you're going to discover. And that's what I'm going to discover with you. And we'll build on all of that together. But there's so much magic that can happen. Actually, in Bali, I had an amazing experience. You know, to me, in some ways, it was kind of sacred because it was surreal. But I'm going to share it with you. I was actually wearing this gold, this, and I chose this specifically to wear to talk to you today. But because the Balinese healers are used to having certain miracles happen, it's no big deal. It's kind of like when marathon runners or when somebody breaks a record and then other people do it effortlessly. That's just, it becomes a new normal. Well, in Bali, miracles are normal. And we did the most amazing flower ceremony in this lake that was so beautiful. And the Balinese do these incredible offerings with these baskets of beautiful flowers. And we kind of threw them in front of us. And then there were flowers just all over the water. And the most incredible thing that happened, and the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I want you to know that what you think is possible is just one of the possibilities. Because Marimanko, when we dove under the water and I came up, he was standing in front of me and he was literally dripping in gold. He was as gold can be and just glittering in the sun. And it was so beautiful because he had such a connection with the water. He could talk to the water. But I kept thinking, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I can't believe this is happening. And I said to the person next to me, look at Marimanko's all in gold. And then when I looked down, my arms were literally dripping in gold as well. Literally, it was like gold had happened. It was a moment of turning into the magic and the possibility that we are. And we had done another, and then when he would get finished with the ceremony, it would rain. He would look to the heavens and it would rain like it was a blessing from the heavens on us, sealing and anointing the blessing on our head. I was just like in awe and wonder that that could really happen. And then when we did a ceremony in the stream, he was talking about how everything would come to us, that we didn't have to chase after everything, and anything that no longer served us would go so far down the river, it would never find us again. So if there's something in your life right now, what if you didn't have to chase after it at all? What if all you really needed to do was be so in your being and know who you are so powerfully that you are literally divinity? You are God having a human experience. And what if just knowing that everything that you needed or that you would like to experience would flow to you effortlessly and it never ended? Because it doesn't. The resources that we think are so limited and the circumstances that show up in our lives are really a product of what we can allow. So what if we could allow the magic and the miracle that we are, and everything that we needed would come to us in that much ease and grace? I know that it's possible. I know that it's possible, and that's the frequency that I just want us to be able to really dance.
Wow, I can feel that.
It's really, really the way things are meant to flow. And it's so funny when you talk about synchronicity. That's when you're really in tune with the moment of now. That's why you're in the right place at the right time. And things that you could have never created show up. It's just natural because that's how we roll. So what if that could be our new normal? And that's what I'm inviting you to come play with me. And let's discover that together.
I've got some here in the side. We've got Sarah Lynn, has just said yes. She said, I just said yes to your class and registered. Yay!
We get to sing guys together.
I'm so excited.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Thank you. I'm so excited. Yes.
We've also got Melissa saying she's got goosebumps from when you were speaking about your experience, all the miracle gold experience that you had, and saying the pressure that creates the brilliance. Wowza, love. So Suzanne is also feeling the love there. Debbie's saying that she's having a bit of freezing. Sometimes the internet, so especially from my side in Peru, it's up and down, and Pamela's also got a bit of that going on in Hawaii. So this is when we decide to do it from sacred space. We don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I know, but we do it anyway, and we show up, and you know what magic is happening. So I really, ask you to take that into your life. What if today you could look at every circumstance and say, what would be fun now? How could I look at this through the eyes of joy versus the eyes of fear? And how would it shift in my presence by me knowing who I am? And how could I allow more magic and miracles in my life today, in this moment? What if I would just say, yes, I'm willing to receive and just be in that presence? Please do that today. I'm actually at 14% too, so I'm probably going to, run out. But guess what? Guess what I'm going to do? I just want to see if I can run to the ocean with this and see if I can give you an ocean. Thank you. Okay. I haven't run out of internet connection.
I love this.
Till my internet connection goes out, but la. I'll keep going as far as I can. I'll run you to the ocean. Are we still on?
Wow. I love this. This is so fun. And I agree with you. Seeing Hawaii, friends. How beautiful. How amazing. If you take a look, we've actually put up a page, Pamela La Luz. .com. That's Pamela LALUZ, and go visit that actual page. Pamela La Luz, on that page is where all the info is, and it actually each week what we're going to be doing and playing with each week. The date is set from the 20th of October, so it is in about 2 weeks' time. We might have a time change some of the weeks. It is going to be 7 p.m. In the evening currently set, but that may change. So I'm just making you aware because there are quite a few things happening with Pamela's schedule. So we are moving things as we can with how we're going to fit it. But there will be amazing recordings of each of the calls as well. So if you can't make them, there will be a recording. And there is a membership site. Once you join, you'll have access to the membership site. We are just updating some of the links because the times have changed. We just discussed it recently that the times are going to be a bit different. So if you get into the membership site and the times all aren't perfect, don't worry. And we will update you. It's kind of been a bit of I feel almost as if we are creating, and I know that a lot of you in the room here understand exactly what I'm talking about. We're creating a brand new path. We're creating a whole new bridge. So sometimes the stairs aren't all exactly perfectly there just yet, but they're there. So we can stand on them and we can get the movement forward. So I'm just going to see whereabouts Pamela is. If you can give me 2 seconds. Yes. I'm just going to say, are you there? Just giving her a quick Skype. Okay. Don't you love it? So if we can't get through on Hangouts, then we use Skype. We'd use FaceTime. And if we can't, oh, there we go. So let's see how it goes. Has anyone else had a chance to have a look yet? Sarah Lynn, Debbie's here. There, she can hear. Melissa, you there? So is anyone wanting to come and play with me in the room while we're waiting for Pamela? Anybody want to come and join me in the hangout for a bit? Chat about what you've experienced, if you've been in Hawaii, what your experiences were, your experiences with Pamela, how you've enjoyed what's been going on with her, and the way she plays the crystal bowls. Anyone want to put up your name? Okay, so Sarah, put up your hand for me. You want to put up your hand for me? I know you know this game because you've also got to hang up. Yeah, so I'm going to pull you up there. Sarah Lynn, there we go. Now I've just invited Sarah Lynn as a speaker. So this is the beauty of being live, because you don't quite know what's going to happen next. And we just got to roll with it and be in the now moment. And isn't that the most fun? Because then we're not planning ahead. We're just playing and having fun in the now moment. So Sarah Lynn will probably end up logging in the next few minutes. There she is, Sarah Lynn. There we go.
Hey,
hello, Sarah Lynn.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I'm putting you on. There you are.
Hey. Hey.
So welcome, and well done for joining us to play 6 weeks with the crystal, your crystalline body with the power of sound. How are you excited? Tell us a little bit about what you know about Pamela.
Oh my gosh, what do I know about Pamela? Well, I've known Pamela for a couple of years, but every time I get to hang out with her, either virtually or in person, it's like she brings a whole new level of joy to the space she's in. It's like she levels up every time I see her. She's got so much joy and so much brilliance and this genuine grace that just fills the entire room that she's in. And when I saw she was offering a class, it was an instant yes. Instant yes, because whatever she brings is going to take me and everybody else to the next dimension. Yeah, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super excited.
Yay! Yay! Yes, and I want to say a big thank you for all of you. In the silence, I hear the angels singing. Thank you, Tony. So thank you all for joining us. It's been absolutely wonderful to have you on the call. I do apologize for a bit of the technical side from Pamela's side and my side. At least we ended off on a good note where we got to see the ocean and dream of Hawaii. Thank you very much, Sarah Lynn, for coming in and giving that little bit of feedback on your experience with Pamela. It was wonderful to have you play with me for a little bit there and giggle with me. And we love you all. Thank you very much. And it would be come and play with us on the show, on the live streams that we're going to be running over the six weeks. Obviously, Pamela's going to go into each and every single one of those constructions of bowls that she's put together, which all assist in the various places where you can start to learn to integrate more of those things into yourself. So take a look at that, and we'd love to play with you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Lots and lots of love, and I know Pamela also sends her love too, and it's been wonderful playing with you. So